them say, nothing's ever promised tomorrow today. But we're fine.
Good, and welcome back to Mally Braid TV 2. So where did we leave off? On part 1 of my addiction recollections. I overdosed at work. Most embarrassing day of my fucking life. At this point, like I said, I've already lost my home. I've been evicted. Had to move home with my parents. Overdosed at fucking work. And at this point, my folks don't know yet. This is on a Friday. Next thing I know, Sunday comes. I'm playing it cool. They go to church. They come back home. My pops finds out because somebody at church asked how I was. And then next thing I know, my pops pretty much told me to get the fuck out. I went upstairs, didn't know what to fucking do, had a panic attack, because now I'm homeless again. And I've only been here 6 months. At this point, my whole family is not fucking with me. My younger sister, she's in her 30s, she ain't fucking with me, period. No text back, no answering phone calls. My older brother, he ain't fucking with me. My mom ain't fucking with me. My dad's done with me now, you know what I'm saying? And I'm in this situation where I'm just a fucking full-blown drug addict and I don't know what to do. So now I have to get out. He told me the sheriff's coming to get me. I had no idea what the fuck that meant. Because I guess he changed his mind because the next day he picked me up and took me to the RHA Center in Marion. We talked to some people. I don't know what he said, but they called it the mobile crisis team. They came from Asheville and picked me up. And they took me. And this was October 1st, 2023. And I didn't know it at the time. But that'd be the last time I'd be living in Marion. And, you know, like I said, I'm fast forward. I'm in Lexington now, almost a year later. But we'll get into that as we get to this series of this Addict Recollections. So anyway, this part 2 is about detox. The hell of withdrawal. The hell of fucking detox and the nightmare that you go through when you go through these facilities. But it's very necessary because once you get to the point that I was at in my addiction and with drugs, I couldn't be helped by myself. I've tried everything. I've tried every trick in the book. I've tried dosing down. I've tried everything. And I was to the point that I would get physically sick. I was physically dependent. It was beyond just being in your head anymore. So now, like I said, I'm in the mobile crisis team on the way to Asheville. Have no idea what I'm in for. Go to this detox center. It's called Neil Dobbins Center. It was in Asheville. Once I get there, the guy that drove me up there dropped me off and pretty much said, good luck. I go inside this detox center and I wait. While I'm waiting, I realized I have no real friends because one of the people that knew that I overdosed, that I had messaged once I came to, was they Narcan me and said, hey, bro, so-and-so's got this, this, and that. They're very strong. Don't get these. You'll die. I just did. Now I'm looking at my phone one last time before they take it and strip me of everything before I go to detox. And this motherfucker messages me on Facebook Messenger like, hey, bro, I got 10 for 100. I'm thinking that's a sign right there to let this life go. Let this shit go before it kills me. So I fucking turned my phone off and I sat there and cried. I cried in the fucking waiting room waiting to go. They took me, made me get completely butt naked with a guy. He checked me, make sure I wasn't sneaking anything in the facility. Because they got crazy motherfuckers there to do that shit. No vapes, no nothing. I'm a smoker and a vapor. So I have a nicotine addiction. You couldn't nicotine or vape while you're there. And you pretty much are in assisted withdrawal while you're coming off of drugs, alcohol, or whatever it may be that you're fucked up with. They give you medicines to ease your central nervous system and to help you sleep and give you whatever you need to help you come off of this shit. I was in a room with cameras on a twin bed, suffering. There was people in different rooms that were shitting themselves. There were females in there that were screaming and puking all night. It sounded like somebody's pouring water on the floor. And you got to think, I'm sick myself, so I'm hearing this shit all night and people moaning and crying. This one lady was just hitting her head on the wall. And I remember it got to the point where I was so overwhelmed by all these fucking noises and all the sickness in this area that I realized that God has put me here to show me this is not what the fuck I want to be. That I'm right on the edge. I'm an addict myself, but I'm not going to say I'm not like these people because I was one of them people. And I still am at heart. Just because I've stopped doesn't mean it's not in me. But I realized in that moment that God has shown me something. He's showing me that this is not the life for me. And if I don't fucking stop, this is where I'm going to be at over and over and over. There was people in this detox center that had been there 13, 14 times. I'm not lying to you. In their 50s and 60s that were telling me, like, young man, you don't want to be here. You don't want to be like me. So I'm going through this shit, listening to these motherfuckers puking and going through all this shit, crying and calling my mama. My mama pretty much talked to me when I was in detox, you know what I'm saying? And she prayed on the phone with me and shit. I cried like a baby, talked to like a psychiatrist. They come around and talk to you without you even asking, while they're checking your vital signs, asking how you're feeling. You tell them how you're feeling. I was just crying a lot and didn't know why as a man, because I don't cry really. I'm just boo-hooing every fucking day. And he was like, look, man, you had a shitty best friend. He's like, you just buried your best friend, which was the drug that I used. He was like, you've depended on this drug for so long that your body doesn't know the difference in mourning. That it could be a best friend. It could be you stop using this drug. All your body knows is that it's a sadness and your life's never going to be the same again. So you're going through a mourning period. Cry, let it out. I went through all this shit. I met some crazy motherfuckers. I met a girl named Alexis that, like, she did meth and shit. She shaved her whole fucking head. Beautiful girl. Come in bald-headed, like G.I. Jane bald. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I was like, why'd you shave your head? She was convinced that she had bugs in her hair and in her camper. Convinced. Could not tell her nothing else. You fast forward a little bit while later, when I met her in rehab and shit, she had gained some weight, looking healthy, hair starting to grow back a little bit. And she was like, hey, you was right. There was no bugs. It was the meth. I'm thinking, duh. And speaking of meth, there was a dude in there that I realized that I shouldn't be here. Like I said, a sign from God. There was a guy in there that was so wigged out from smoking so much meth and shooting up so much meth in his life that he is literally insane. This dude walked around swearing to God the feds were following him. The feds were listening. The feds is listening. They got cameras in the bathroom, in the mirror. The feds is listening. The feds just told me to quit smoking dope and to leave me the fuck alone. He said that one day, and I said, bro, we're in a detox center. We have no cell phones. We have no communication. They listen to our phone calls. Like, bro, what the fuck? Like, where did you hear the feds? He was like, bro, I was in the bathroom, and I heard the feds. I said, bro, where'd you hear the feds? He goes, Bluetooth. And I was like, oh my God, this dude has fucking lost it. Everybody in here is fucking crazy. God, I hear you. I'm done with the drugs. It's not even meant to be a funny story, but this is what I was going through. This is what I was thinking through all the crying. I had moments of clarity where I was like, what the fuck am I doing here with these people? Like, I got to get my life together before I end up permanently fucked like this dude. And I called him MJ for Meth Jordan, but it wasn't like I'm making fun of him because he knew why I called him that. We joked and we laughed, and I called him MJ, and he knew what it meant when I said Meth Jordan. When he said that Bluetooth shit, he lost me because he was dead serious. And I was like, okay, everybody has a problem that's in this situation. I'm going through my own little storm right now, but these people right here are crazy and don't even know it. And it's sad. So while I was in this detox center getting clean, I was there for like 13 days. You can't do shit. They don't even give you shoes. I'm walking around with the fucking crazy socks with the rubbers on the bottom, crying. And at this point, I thought I could come home. My pops called me and told me, you can't even come back home. You better figure something out. So whenever they let you out of detox, I don't know what you're going to do. Call a shelter, do something. So I was broken. Drugs had took everything from me. Everything from me. And when you hit rock bottom like that, you have nowhere to go but up. So eventually my 13 days ran out. And all these crazy people that were coming in and out. I'm talking about young people, old people, everything in between. And I just realized this ain't the place for me. And I prayed and prayed and prayed. And I got a call one day in detox that I've been accepted into a rehab called October Road in Asheville, North Carolina, which where I was at this detox I was at. So a mile or two down the road, I got accepted to October Road, a 31-day inpatient facility, bed to bed, which means you have to be coming from a detox center to be accepted. And I was at a detox center and I got accepted. So then the next phase of this shit, of me figuring my life out after this drug-fueled decade that I've been living through, I hit rehab at October Road. And that's a whole nother story in itself. Stay tuned for part 3. Thank you for watching. Remember, make money, dodge drama, live life.
And I heard him say, nothing's ever promised tomorrow today. but we'll find a way.